All right, guys, welcome to Healthy from the Inside Out, a new doTERRA framework, fresh start to a healthy you, like whatever we want to call this class. Essentially what it is I have been teaching essential oil classes for 8 years. doTERRA specifically, obviously, that's the class that you guys are at. And we as a team, or I completely flipped on its head the way that we teach these intro classes. And this way is like, it's completely lighting me up because it just makes so much sense from a health standpoint. And it really paints a picture of what it is that we want and what it is that we're hoping to create in our homes, in our bodies, in the rhythms of our life. So if you are here tonight, you want to just put in the chat, like what made you join? I would love to just like hear where you're at, what you're looking for. And I'm just going to keep rolling through this. So in 8 years of teaching classes, every single woman that I've ever taught to is the thing that I love to invite us to do is just to reflect a little bit on the state of our life and the state of our bodies and the things that we want. And why I love that is because I feel like life is so crazy and we don't often like get to sit and think about what we want because we don't think that there are solutions for it. But when we actually are at a class like this, at a workshop like this, and I'm going to give you at least some semblance of a solution, it's nice to be able to reflect. So if you think about like sleep, mental health, digestion, respiratory, skin, pain, most people that I sit to work with say anxiety in some capacity, which translates as digestive issues often, some level of pain, and then, sleep. Those are kind of the three big ones. And then gut health is such a buzzword now. Like if you're on any sort of social media, I feel like we're just constantly getting ads for things around gut health. And there's a reason for that. And I'm going to talk about that in this class too. So before we get started, I just want to address this idea of the modern approach, which we have access to through our modern medical system. Okay, I'm grateful for it in many ways. I think a lot of people are alive because of it, but it really is designed to manage symptoms. And the best way that I can say what our modern medical system is versus the natural approach, which I advocate for when possible, is that our modern approach comes in with when we're in crisis and we absolutely need an intervention, and it can intervene in like an acute way. The problem is that so many of us are suffering from lifestyle diseases that are lifestyle based, which inflammation is at the root. I'm going to talk about that a lot. And the other thing about our modern approach is that when we just manage symptoms, we often are going to end up with a lot of side effects from the synthetic things we're putting in our body, known and unknown. It's super costly. And because we're managing symptoms and not getting to the root of why the issue exists in the first place, the question is really, are we actually healthier? And if that's what we want, of course, we want to feel better and we want to manage symptoms, but like if health is what we're after, um, are we healthier? So a natural approach, which doTERRA is a company, I have been partnered with them and I love being partnered with them because they're so like comprehensive and holistic in the way that they think about everything. Like even the slide decks we get from doTERRA when we think about our life have our community and the people that we're surrounded with, right? And how big of an influence those people are in our life. Like I just love how comprehensive that is because it's true. So this natural approach addresses our body's needs by really getting to the root cause of why the issue exists in the first place. And when I say issue, every single disease, the root of it is inflammation. And so these plant-based products, these essential oils, help our body manage inflammation. So everything that doTERRA does is extract from plants to enhance wellness, and it's safe without side effects, which is super awesome. So this is just a slide to show that people turn to us because they really are in a place in their life where they want safe, affordable, and effective solutions for their family's health. And I think that that's beautiful. I mean, this journey has been I take it for granted at this point, honestly, and I shouldn't. So this slide, Simple Solutions with doTERRA, I just wanted to highlight this fact that because everything starts at home, and it's just to acknowledge that all of us are dealing with health concerns in our home. And when we think about wellness, like oftentimes we're getting these protocols or like, go to the gym or go to a yoga class or go for a walk every day. And sometimes that's not possible. And what I love about doTERRA is it helps us feel empowered in our own homes with things to reach for that can make an immediate impact on how we feel. That's awesome. So lifestyle is truly the only real medicine that we have. Um, I Key lifestyle choices have a huge impact on our health and quality of life. And so, okay, great. Let's go manage inflammation, right? If I just sent you like away, okay, inflammation is the root. Let's manage inflammation. That's not going to give you like the empowerment that you want. And so this kind of lifestyle stack that's over here on the slide is how doTERRA has put a framework for us together, for us to use and how to think about managing our health stepwise. So at the base is nutrition and digestion. So that's where we're going to start for this class. And then we're going to move to movement and metabolism, rest and managing stress, reducing toxicity, and then everything with oils, okay, informed self-care, very proactive medical care. But I want you to just kind of breathe in and breathe out, because what I think the best, where I have seen my clients have the best like impact that's lasting is where they make just one or maybe two changes at a time. Okay. It's called habit stacking. When people try to just like go on a kick, I mean, I've done this probably a billion times in my life. Like, I'm going to change everything, I'm going to do it. Then I have this like, if you have done that, like put it in the chat. Okay. I hope I'm not alone. Put it in the chat if you also have a pattern of like doing things for a little bit and then stopping. So step by step, we have a framework and a company that has products that make an impact in all of these categories. So truly, what creates disease in the body? We already hinted at it. 1, nutrient deficiencies, which we're going to talk about right now. 2, inflammation. And 3, toxic overload. And so nutrient deficiencies means our body is not able to function properly. And so we don't have enough nutrients and energy stores in order to clean up the inflammation. Oh, Deanna, yeah, me too. Okay, 2, inflammation, straightforward. 3, toxic overload. When we have toxins coming into our life, okay, inside air is a lot dirtier than outside air. We are supposed to spend at least 2 hours outside every day, and I doubt that most people in the United States get that due to work and other lifestyle things. So when we have toxins in our home, in the food that we eat, in the products that we use, our body's nutrients and energy stores have to be used to support our detox pathways, our liver, our kidneys, our cellular health, all of those processes, our digestive tract. And so we don't have any energy left to manage our metabolism, our mental health, our skin. And so it's just like all of these things that are the symptoms, right? In that, remember that slide at the beginning where it was like respiratory issues, sleep, all of those things begin to suffer because our body, we just have one body, right? With only so many resources. Our body is spending all of the time managing the things that the world is throwing at it and our lifestyle is throwing at it. So, percentage of adults below the recommended amounts for these vitamins and minerals, vitamin D, vitamin E, magnesium, so on and so forth, 95%, 94%, 57% of adults deficient in vitamin A, 43% of adults deficient in vitamin C. Okay, if vitamins and minerals are essential for health and our cellular health, and we're deficient in them, you begin to see why it makes sense that we have so much disease. Okay. So we think, okay, we need to supplement with those. Here's the problem. A study by the FDA from 2007 to 2016 detected contaminants in 776 dietary supplements produced by 146 different companies. Okay. So right off the bat, I want you guys to know the supplement industry is not regulated. Also, a study of 3 leading memory supplements found that 2 of them did not even actually contain the active ingredient listed on the label. Again, our supplement industry is a mess. So what do we do, right? Since any company anywhere can put anything on the labels, it's not that I want it to be regulated by the FDA because the FDA approves things in our food like monosodium glutamate and, other things that are really, really bad for us. But if that's the situation in the supplement industry, where do we go? What do we have to think about? We have to go back to the company itself, the integrity of the company, the integrity of the leadership team of the company. And I'll be honest, after 8 years of being partnered with doTERRA, I continue to be so, so, so grateful that I made the choice to be partnered with this company and that their products have been the ones that have been consistently going into my body. So in that base of this pyramid, the nutrition and digestion category, our Lifelong Vitality Pack is our number one selling product, which is amazing. It is a trio of supplements. It's a whole food multivitamin, and that's the Microplex VMZ that's on the far right. The Axi Omega, that's on the left in the image, it's a blend of omega fatty acids and essential oils. And all I'm going to say about that is that omega 3s are so important for our mental wellness and our respiratory wellness. And we do not in our diet in America have a bioavailable source of these. Okay. Even our salmon is mostly farmed and it's chock full of inflammatory fats. So, what do? When we're pregnant, we go to the store, we take fish oil. Okay, that's omegas. Fish oil and water don't mix. And so it really can't get in. It's not bioavailable. And doTERRA has paired our omega supplement with tiny bits of essential oils, and they help it be bioavailable and they stop it from oxidizing also. So it doesn't go rancid, which is awesome. That's also a problem with fish oil supplements. And then the alpha CRS, that's in the middle in the image. That is our cellular renewal system. So it's packed full of plants that help manage inflammation and give us energy, which is awesome. So these are the results that my clients say: less pain and inflammation. Okay, we're talking things like joint pain greatly reduced in 2 weeks on these supplements. More energy, I felt that for sure. More balanced mood. Um, there's no synthetics in there, which is awesome. They're bioavailable, I mentioned that, and the ingredient levels make a huge impact on our body. So me personally, our Lifelong Vitality Pack, I didn't take it for a year. I was selling oil kits for a year before I tried it. I just was super skeptical again of supplements. Why do we need them? I get them from food. I get enough nutrients from food. And within a week and a half on these supplements, my anxiety switch went like this. That's why I know so much about that Xe Omega, the omega 3s, because I had to go down a rabbit hole of figuring out why was this making such a big difference? All right, so it's not just me and it's not just clients that are sharing, okay? doTERRA actually does clinical trials on our products, which is awesome. So this is a 60-day clinical trial where subjects were taking the Lifelong Vitality Pack, subjects meaning humans, and they continued their normal diet and exercise. And there was statistically significant improvement with blood lipids, fasting insulin levels, cardiovascular markers, markers of cellular inflammation. And then it wasn't statistically significant, probably because of the sample size, right? When we do large scale clinical trials, I do not know how many participants were in, but there was positive effects in, again, levels of inflammation, blood glucose regulation, and overall improvement with mental clarity, energy, motivation, control, balance, all of those types of things. So if you've had an experience with the Lifelong Vitality Pack, put it in the chat. I'm personally so, so grateful for this. So just a plug right now for our microbiome. The relationship now between our microbiome and our overall health and our mental health is very much more understood than it was 15 years ago. So here are some facts that I pulled from studies. So healthy volunteers consuming probiotics decrease their scores on measures of psychological distress. Okay, so that's awesome. Our gastrointestinal tract has its own nervous system, um, and it does not transmit signals, so it doesn't send those signals in germ-free mice. So that means that our microbiome was actually responsible for the way that our nervous system functions and talks to each other. Giving probiotics, so lactobacillus is a specific strain of bacteria, it's a probiotic, to mice reduced anxiety and depression behaviors. Um, so again, the evidence of our microbiome or the bacteria in our gut in mental health. And then this is maybe not obvious, but inflammation, okay, the inflammation from the food that we eat, our environment, the toxins directly impacts our microbiome. Okay, so you think more inflammation in our body, microbiome is disrupted. When our microbiome is disrupted, we're not able to utilize nutrients as efficiently. Okay. And then when our microbiome is disrupted, we also have these mental health issues. So if that's not a picture of what's going on in almost all of us, okay, I don't know what is. One fast food meal changes our microbiome. That is super humbling and scary for me to say, right? Because I definitely swing through Wendy's, grab Frosties with the kids, all of those things. But if we do that on a continual basis without a way to, and without probiotics and a way to really rebuild our microbiome, it causes issues. So I touched on some of these. What damages gut health? Unhealthy diets, again, okay. Fast food, processed food. We know, okay, we know the things that do not make us feel good, but life gets in the way. Okay, it's just being honest. Antibiotic use damages gut health. So one round of antibiotics, it takes us about 2 years to recover the breadth of our microbiome. And that's because antibiotics, although sometimes they are necessary, it's kind of like it's setting off a bomb in our digestive tract. So it bombs everything. A lack of physical activity also damages our gut health. Okay. Don't have the motility that we need. Poor sleep. Okay. The relationship between sleep, our microbiome and sleep is super interesting to me. I actually have a whole class on sleep and microbiome. If you're interested, I can send you the link. And then stress levels also interrupt our microbiome. So you just see this like picture of like chicken or the egg, chicken or the egg, chicken or the egg. It's all linked. All right. So doTERRA, knowing that because of all of the research out there now, actually offers us the top, like we cannot get a supplement better than this anywhere else. And that makes me so excited, right? Because this is the company I'm partnered with, and this is a supplement that I get to talk about. I don't have to be like, ours is pretty good, but it's better out there. No, ours is the best. All right. This PB Restore is 18 billion active live cells. It has prebiotics in it. Okay. That's the food for the good bacteria. It has probiotic. That's the actual bacteria, 24 different strains, and doTERRA went through and hand-picked them based on research of what those strains are known to contribute to. Okay, cardiovascular health, skin health, a lot for mental health, all right? All of those things are things that people are saying when they take these that they're noticing a difference in. We also have postbiotics. So the postbiotic, what I mean by that is the relationship between our microbiome and our digestive tract and our immune system produces things like serotonin and melatonin. Did you guys know that the majority of those things are actually made in our gut, which is why our microbiome and the food we eat really impacts our overall health so much. And so this, yes, teens can use it. And then the PBSS Plus, the Pixie Sticks, is actually formulated with different strains of bacteria. So it's a complementary product and is designed for the entire family because it's not a pill that you swallow, it's a Pixie Stick. So on this slide, there's actually 2 different products. All right, so we're going to change gears to the movement and metabolism really quick. So only 6.8% of the adult population has the optimal cardiometabolic health. Blech. That's awful. Okay. It's really, really, really sad, guys. And when we do some digging into why it is that we are struggling so much, let's just think about diabetes being pre-diabetic or diabetic. So what is the percentage increase in diabetes cases in America since 1960? 700%. Why? Well, one statistic that blew me away, how long does it take the average American to consume the same amount of sugar that our ancestors from 200 years ago would consume in 1 year? So obviously the answer is there, but it's 2 weeks. So for me, when I'm thinking about, I don't ever crave sugar, and there's a lot of reasons why that is. Like, I don't ever get dessert at restaurants. I don't eat dessert at home. Um, Sugar cravings really points to nutrient deficiencies, and I've cracked the code on those things. I have not cracked the code on those things for my kids though. And so every time they ask me for a popsicle or for whatever, and I'm like, oh, sure, like no big deal, or candy, Easter candy, right? And I'm saying yes, like all of this stuff adds up. Cancer cells, and I'll say this really boldly, feed on sugar. Okay, feed on sugar. And so if we think about toxins in our body and inflammation, and then our one body that has to manage all of it, okay, to get it out, sugar is one of the worst things we can put in our body. So how do we manage our blood sugar levels in a world where our diet has a lot of carbs in it, right? So doTERRA thought about this problem and came out with like the most like amazing metabolic system. And the results from this system are incredible. I'm going to share some testimonies right here during this class, but this is our entire MetaPower metabolic system line, right? And we're going to go through the different parts of this pretty quickly. But there is an entire course on doTERRA's website if this is something that you want to dive into and really understand for yourself what's going on in your body, what's a blood sugar spike. That's definitely something that you can learn. So the first part of the system, there's three, is the MetaPower Metabolic Blend. So this is a blend of essential oils, and all four of those products is a way to consume that specific blend of essential oils. This blend was studied and it's known to inhibit fat cell maturation. So another way to say that is we don't ever increase the number of fat cells that we have, they just get bigger and shrink. So this actually blocks those fat cells from accumulating more fat droplets inside of them. It also curbs cravings like the satiety gum and the MetaPower beadlet. It really helps to manage those sugar cravings. So like you can use those things after a meal. And then it supports overall metabolic health for those reasons. So the second step in this system is called our metabolic assist. So this product is berberine and mulberry leaf extract, these and cinnamon. So these things are well known in the world of diabetes management and reversal. And I know that because I have a friend who actually does that full time. She's a nurse, and instead of working as a nurse in a hospital, she actually works with people one-on-one who are pre-diabetic or diabetic who want to completely reverse their diabetes. And when she looked at this product, she was like, oh, that's everything I recommend, but in one product. So that was really, really awesome. So this decreases our glucose spikes after our meal. So we think about our blood sugar and the level of or spike in the blood sugar, that puts a lot of strain on our body to manage that. Strain on our body causes inflammation, and it just kind of is like a hit that our body is taking all the time that we have to manage. So these products are also known to support healthy insulin sensitivity and stabilize energy levels throughout the day. So this is an awesome product. So here's some actual studies, so you don't just have to take my word for it. All right. So if you look here, this is blood sugar levels before and after, or without assist and with assist. So there was 11% decrease in glucose levels, which is awesome. There's also in this top right of the slide, a testimony from a type 1 diabetic, which I think is really encouraging, that their average insulin use has gone down. So they used to be using about 48 units a day and now only 30. And their glucose levels have also dropped. Lost pounds and about 3 inches off in the tummy, sleeping better, making better food choices, better memory retention, and so much more. As you guys know, when we feel better, we do better. And when we're doing better in even just one area, it can really just make an impact overall. All right, so the third step in the system is called MetaPower Advantage. And this is, I think this won an award, and I don't know who gave the award to this product. So off the top of my head, so I shouldn't even say that maybe on this recording, but this product is our collagen. And it is not just collagen. There's a number of other ingredients, including liposomal vitamin C in here, and also something called NMN. So NMN, if you look it up in Google, synthetic forms are actually like you can't, they're being pretty heavily regulated because this makes such a big difference. So doTERRA's is not synthetic, it's natural, it's completely safe, but NMN supports our amount of NAD. And NAD levels in our body increase until we're 25, and then they start to decrease. So it's that thing that you can think about, okay, I'm like growing. All of a sudden at 25, I'm going to start to age. And within 2 weeks of taking MetaPower Advantage, the levels of NAD in our cells goes up, which is awesome. So that explains a lot of why people who take this are feeling younger, more elasticity in our skin, hair growth. Okay, there's some pretty awesome results with this product. I personally happen to love it, especially for cognitive function. So I take it in the morning. So anyways, this product is awesome. So all three of these are really meant to be used together, but people pick and choose. So for me, I use Lifelong Vitality Pack and a few of the other supplements, and then I always add on this collagen. So that's kind of how I've managed to piece them all together. So because of all the ingredients that I mentioned that are in there, this MetaPower Advantage is $84.50 for a month's supply. It's actually less when you add it on to a different supplement like the Lifelong Vitality Pack. Like doTERRA knows that like taking all of this stuff is really hard on the typical household budget. And so they do try to give us really deep discounts when we're bundling things. But even $84.50, if you paid the full price for that, it's over $360 if you're piecing together all of the ingredients that are in there. So, all right, testimonies, reverse aging. I love just seeing pictures in action. So day 1 versus day 60, you can definitely see a difference in just her overall skin firmness. And then this with the collagen, her hair went from white to like turning black again, which I think is awesome. Like I wouldn't have thought to like watch for that, you know? Here's some other um, pre-MetaPower, after MetaPower. These are the whole systems. There's been so many people where, again, when you just feel a little bit better, it's really empowered like an entire like aging reversal in their life. So we've covered nutrition and digestion, movement and metabolism, and I really just want to like go through the other ones, but not as in detail because those ones have like whole systems. So we're going to kind of piece together the rest. So I used to start every class I ever taught with this medicine cabinet photo. And the reason is because I would explain to people that most people that I've ever worked with in doTERRA come to doTERRA because they heard about our DigestZen for their digestive issues, or Breathe for their respiratory issues, or Tea Tree for bug bites, right? And they're like, they want to experience the oils. And then, oh my gosh, the oils work. What else can I use that's just plants? Okay, so they began to clean up their hair care and the way that they clean their home and the way that they purify the air in their home, right? It's that second level of the medicine cabinet. And then they were like really trusting doTERRA as a company at that point. And they're like, oh, okay, this was me, remember? Oh, it's not really working anymore to like just piece together my mental wellness. Maybe I should finally trust doTERRA and like try these supplements that everyone's talking about. Okay. Maybe I should do the things that are actually the habits day in and day out that set me up for success. And so that's how I used to teach the class. I would start with oils and then I would timidly introduce the second level. And then at the end, I'd be like, but if you want to feel amazing, you really need to take the Lifelong Vitality Pack. And I would give myself 2 minutes to talk about the Lifelong Vitality Pack. And then I'd be like rushing to close out the class. I want to say very clearly to you that people that I've worked with that start at the bottom level, one habit at a time, building in the foundations of nutrition and digestion with our microbiome products and our supplements, go much farther faster. All of the other things work so well in a body that is fundamentally supported. And I want to boldly encourage you to make that bottom level of the medicine cabinet a huge priority because it really doesn't work. It's not going to feel different than anything else you are doing if every day you wake up and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't feel good today. What should I reach for? Right? We have to build in those habits. So when it comes though to the oils, all right, I'm not knocking the oils because they are my first love, truly. Um, I mean, I could cry, okay? They're such gifts from God. They smell amazing. I think you guys all have them in your home, right? You know what I'm talking about. Um, it Yeah, okay. I'm gonna move on. I was like about to get like emotional and like go on a tangent. I'm not going to. I'm gonna be like, okay, there's science, okay? So a study from Roseman University studied doTERRA oils, and they were actually found in a lab to be therapeutically relevant in cell growth, rejuvenation, metabolic health, and healthy inflammatory responses within our body. So freaking cool, right? Essential oils making a measurable impact on our cells. They also studied oils from different companies and found that essential oils from different competitors had minimal effects. So they concluded independently of doTERRA that the therapeutic potential of essential oils is highly dependent upon the complete composition of the oil, sourcing, processing, and characterization are critical. So just like I told you guys, there is no regulations in the supplement industry, the same is true of the essential oil industry. And so many companies out there like, oh yeah, we have organic oils or we have a GC, gas chromatography mass spec, GCMS. That's what everyone says. That's one test. Sorry, an oil that's 100% synthetic can look like it's not with just one GCMS test. All right. So you cannot, like, that used to be the gold standard 15 years ago. You can't go by that now at all. So like doTERRA as a company is a really powerful example of how business can be a great force for good in the world. So I want you guys to know when you buy, use, and share doTERRA products, you're actually playing a crucial part in improving lives and reducing human suffering around the world. Okay, so some actual examples through the sourcing, the way that doTERRA sources our oils and the generosity of wellness advocates, 14 different water projects impacting 64,000 lives. 30 different healthcare facilities built and initiatives impacting 825,000 lives. We've built 50 school facilities and have education initiatives impacting 143,000 lives. All right. Probably a little bit more than that from the time that I put this PowerPoint together 4 months ago. All right. 35 community centers impacting 91,000 lives. And then the jobs, guys, so many jobs have been created by doTERRA, impacting almost 1.5 million lives. So that is incredible. I could also talk about this a lot. If you're interested in, coming to like a business pitch by me, and why partner with this company, I'm go into a little bit more detail on the sourcing model and why it matters. So let me know if that's something that you'd be interested in. So people come to doTERRA because they're looking for something safe without dangerous side effects or risk of addiction. Okay, that's super, super important. Both of those things are important when we're thinking about something for our health. And this is unfortunately just a picture of what happened with a grandmother who reached for a brand other than doTERRA, lavender, and put it on her granddaughter. And so being honest about that, I don't want people to risk it. And especially anything that I'm going to tell you about oils in the last part of this class, I 100% mean only doTERRA, no other brand. All right. So 3 cool things about oils from doTERRA is that they're safe, they're effective, and they're affordable. All right. So when I say safe, again, we went over that 100% natural, they're extracts from plants. doTERRAs are certified pure tested grade. We run a ton of tests. We have an in-house scientific team. We do third-party testing. There's a website that actually like details all of the tests now, which is really actually interesting, especially if you're scientifically minded, to just read about the tests and why we do them. Um, and so, just think about like safe being really important. Also effective. So people start using doTERRA products because they're frustrated not finding answers with traditional medical treatment, or when they're sick of simply masking symptoms and are looking for true healing. And I think that that was true for me. When I reached out to who I purchased doTERRA from, I was like, either she's crazy or there's something to this, right? And I just was like very curious because at the time I had little kids and I was really sick of paying copays for no solutions for viral infections. With doTERRA, I have solutions for viral infections. So that purple glob is actually supposed to be a virus. They're inside the cell. Essential oils actually can pass through cell membranes and inhibit viral replication. That is awesome. All right. And then affordable, you've seen the prices of the bottles. It doesn't seem, it's an investment to get started. I want to acknowledge that. But when you break it down, that these bottles are 250 drops and each drop is a single dose, okay, for one-time use, you're paying like 10 to 15 cents per drop. So this example at the bottom for ear discomfort, okay, look at the two options that you have. You go outside care visit, you're going to pay your copay, right? $15 to $75, maybe more, self-pay, I don't know. Pay for the prescription for the antibiotics, another $15 to $50. You're going to pay $30 to $125. Not to mention that's putting a bomb inside the digestive tract of your child or yourself, right? So on the left, it's treat at home with lavender and tea tree, 1 to 2 drops 3 times a day. It's like $1, guys. And I've really always had it work. I'm so grateful for that. $1. And it's at home. And I didn't have to go anywhere. That same lavender and tea tree also gets rid of pink eye. And so it was maybe 3 months ago, I woke up with like junk in one eye, and within an hour I was fine and went on with my day. So that is awesome. A single drop of peppermint is about 9 to 10 cents. One dose or one drop is the same amount of leaves that it takes to make 28 cups of peppermint tea. And so peppermint is clinically validated now for irritable bowel syndrome. It helps with nausea. It relieves head tension. And so just think about every time you're reaching for a drop of peppermint, it's 10 cents. So when it comes to oils, these are the questions, like it's like eyes glaze over, you see the kits, like 10 oils, how to use them, why, what, how am I going to remember? Can you just like move in with me, Steph, and like help me like learn how to use these things that I invested in? I want you guys to know I have a video put together of the top 10 health concerns in every home managed with just the top 10 oils. It's linked up in East End Oils, which is my private customer Facebook group. So you always have access to that. And, you can access me. There's so much information to get you guys plugged into. It's actually overwhelming. And so I tend to like just slowly introduce people to it. This is the basis, okay? There's 3 ways to use essential oils: aromatic, topical, and internal, and the bottle will tell you. So when you look at a bottle from doTERRA, it will say for aromatic or topical use, and then when you spin it around, if it is safe for internal use, it will have supplement facts on the label. So intuitively, that makes sense. So your bottles always tell you, all right? It's like instructions right on the bottle. When you think about how to use them, aromatic, okay, you can just breathe it in from the bottle. You can stick it in a diffuser. I like 3 to 6 drops in my diffusers from doTERRA. That tends to fill the space really nicely. And our nose really does like direct traffic, so to speak, of our whole body. So this is something that I like used to think. I would see people with oils and I'm like, yeah, she must think that works. It's like super cute. If you've experienced this, it's incredible. Same way when you go in for surgery and they put a mask over your face and tell you to count backward from 10 and you don't even really remember getting to 8, okay? You're just breathing in. Our nose directs our body and how it feels. Topical, do not get confused. Wherever it hurts, we're going to get oils on that area. Okay. So if something growing in your throat, we're going to get tea tree and on guard on our throat. If you have digestive pain, we're going to get Digesten on our stomach. If you have hip issues, we're going to get Deep Blue on our hip. And most of the time with topical use, I always recommend covering it with coconut oil. These oils are super aromatic and very tiny. And so if we don't cover it with coconut oil, we're just going to be a walking diffuser. And what we want is to hold the oils to our body. So that is why, to dilute, not dilute, always dilute, because it's going to help the oils get in and stay in better. And then internal use, we can put drops of oils under our tongue. We can swig them back in water. Like I put citrus oils in my water every day. It helps my body manage that inflammation we talked about. So whatever your favorite citrus oil is, they all contain limonene, and that's the key. And then we also have these empty vegetable capsules where we can make like our own antibiotics or antiviral capsules. So here, I want you guys to take screenshots of these if that's something that you're interested in. Our suggestions for immune support. I'm not going to take the time to go over all of the details of this since I already said I had that video, but these are like the immune powerhouse oils. These 4 oils make up what we call the flu bomb in doTERRA. And just it does what I'm telling you it does. And they also have a lot of other uses, which are listed there. These are what we call the medicine cabinet basics. Okay. Lemon, lavender, and peppermint are the seasonal threat trio. Think about peppermint, breathe. All of those things are for respiratory. And then I already mentioned peppermint and digestion for all things tummy. Lavender is like the Swiss Army knife of doTERRA oils. Okay. It's an antihistamine. It helps our brain calm for sleep. So it also helps with stress. It's amazing for skin issues, burns, bites. It also relaxes smooth muscle tissue. So if you think about lavender, like on a baby's feet, it's like what like helps their whole body relax. And also menstrual cramps, right? Or cramps in general in our muscles. Lavender is amazing for all of those things. Pain and inflammation. So our Deep Blue blend is famous for pain and inflammation. A lot of professional athletes use it. And what we have found in doTERRA is that when we pair it with copaiba, which is a really, really beautiful oil that supports our entire body, strengthens our immune system, it's anti-inflammatory. Deep Blue works even better. So if this is something that you're struggling with, pair one of the products from the Deep Blue line with copaiba. And then I cannot not talk about mood and emotional support. So these 3 oils, Balance, Adaptive, and Serenity, are all in this category. Balance is like very grounding, smells like trees, but in a soft way. I think of that for like anxiousness, and like just completely kind of want to like be like zen. Adaptive, this blend, I think of it as like alert serenity. So it's like adaptive is what I personally use as perfume every day because it like helps me feel calm, but my brain is super alert to go, go, go. And then serenity is actually specifically formulated for sleep. It turns off our mind chatter. It gets us into REM and helps us stay there longer. So it can be really healing. REM is that like active sleep where our brain is recalling things and storing it back into the right places where it actually needs to go so it can stop re-injuring us, like in the case of trauma. And so that's kind of the difference between those 3 oils. So let me just take a minute before I close the class. If you have ever considered partnering with doTERRA for income, or, you've never thought about partnering with doTERRA for income, I just really, truly, like, I don't even know how to make that, like, want to tell you guys that this like having residual income and building a doTERRA organization and a community of people who love these products and are healthier because of these products has been one of the best choices I ever made. It is supporting me financially through being a single mom, and I'm actively looking for women, like the right women to partner with and run with right now. So if that's something that you're interested in, just ping me after the class.